Jimmy Kimmel came on last night, but not all the lights were bright across America. It turns out that probably half of the U.S. population had no access to Jimmy because ABC stations all over the nation said, no, we will not put the unfunny, offensive comedian back on our television screens. So folks, what does that mean? Well, it turns out now Democratic lawmakers are saying they're going to punish the stations that refused to play Jimmy. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are here to talk about a tug of war that is happening between the ABC affiliate stations across the nation and Disney, but that's not all because Democratic lawmakers are hopping in and they're hopping mad. They say they are going to make all of the people across the nation who refuse to watch Jimmy so sad. They're going to break up the companies who dare stand up against Bob Iger and Disney. What about free speech? I thought we were into free speech. Free speech? Wait, maybe not, maybe. Oh, I see how it works. Folks, I know how it works here on YouTube as well. Click that like button, drop a comment down below, let us know, did you tune in for Jimmy? Let's dive in right now. California Senator threatens to break up Sinclair over decision to keep Jimmy Kimmel off the air. The FCC chair responds, this is out of that Park Place. There are now groups that are saying they are not going to air Jimmy Kimmel. They're not going to because their constituencies, their consumers don't want Jimmy Kimmel. He's so offensive that he's actually turned consumers off, advertisers off, and the ABC stations are saying to Disney, no. So what is the response? Because last time I checked, everybody gets some free speech around here, right? So that if the stations say, no, this is too offensive, we're going to switch to a different speech, that should be allowed. Nay, say the senators of California, they're going after them. The battle over Jimmy Kimmel's suspension has now escalated in a full-on political fight, with lawmakers threatening to take action. On Monday, California State Senator Scott Wiener took to X to threaten Sinclair Broadcast Group after the company announced it would continue preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live across its ABC affiliates, despite Disney's decision to bring the show back. But just when you thought that Wiener was going to take a whack at the people who want to attack Jimmy, well, take a look at this, folks. Good for We Are Sinclair. This is from Andrew Colbert, who is with Turning Point USA. He says, for blocking Kimmel from its 31 ABC affiliates, reminder, Kimmel has yet to apologize for saying the assassin was MAGA, and he was reportedly going to double down. He's an unrepentant liar, yes. And affiliates have every right to demand accountability. Well, Nexstar just joined.
Wow.
From Ted Johnson at Deadline, Nexstar stations will join Sinclair in preempting Jimmy Kimmel when host returns to ABC tonight. Nexstar said it will continue to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live, meaning that the late-night host return on Tuesday night won't have carriage in nearly a quarter of ABC's affiliate reach. But pause, because that's not the stat you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. That is a stat that is accurate only if we're counting the number of stations. However, in terms of population, who's in the media markets that are controlled by these stations? It is between 40 and 50%, and there may be a third group coming online to deny Jimmy Kimmel the airwaves to spew his hatred. And the other thing that you need to know is that Jimmy Kimmel, according to the Hollywood trades, has been given carte blanche to say whatever he wants. Disney will not stop him in any way. They have no control over him. That was one of the agreements in those negotiations. Bob is a great negotiator, I'm sure. Here's the statement from Nexstar joining Sinclair. We made a decision last week to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live, following what ABC referred to as Mr. Kimmel's ill-timed and insensitive comments at a critical time in our national discourse. We stand by that decision, pending assurance that all parties are committed to fostering an environment of respectful, constructive dialogue in the markets we serve. In the meantime, we note that Jimmy Kimmel Live will be available nationwide on multiple Disney-owned streaming products, while our stations will focus on continuing to produce local news and other programming relevant to their respective markets. Gentlemen, panel, what this means is that somewhere between 40 and 50% of the U.S. population will not have access to Jimmy Kimmel tonight. We can debate whether that's the right thing to do or not, but in terms of ratings and advertising, this is going to be untenable for Disney unless they just want to eat massive losses on this show. I mean, if it was losing $40 to $50 million a year, if it's anywhere equivalent to Stephen Colbert, this could be a $100 million loser for the Disney company, all to make a political virtue statement.
Yeah,
I
but
was
Paul?
going to say the advertisers are the biggest ones here, because you got to think, we were hearing from, I think, Wall Street Journal that advertisers were already pulling their advertisements and some wanted refunds, which was why Iger and Dana Walden got involved, right? Because it's like, oh, that's a large amount of money. Well, now if you're going to be running this show nationally, but major markets missing right there, what do you do for those advertisers? Like, you have to give some money back because they bought in time slots to be broadcast in specific markets, specific regions, and so forth, and now you can't fulfill those.
Well,
this is just
if
spiraling here.
half of the population won't be watching it, how many advertisers who normally would be with the remaining 50% say, Disney, put our ad somewhere else. We can't be affiliated with this man. We can't. I mean, we don't want to be on there. How many advertisers right now hearing that he plans to double down and there is no oversight from him or over him from Disney? How many ad partners right now are saying, we can't have our ad play before or after a segment where he goes after Erica Kirk?
Wow. Yeah, I don't think that would go over particularly well.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, Paul, what are the economics of this? You understand that in a way that
Sure.
many of us don't. What are the economics of this? What does Disney do if half the population won't watch the man? Not just in terms of, because he's lost half of his ratings in 9 months. He's dropped 50%. Now he's going to get an automatic 50% reduction in that.
Well, this gets very complicated because even with Jimmy Kimmel's lower ratings, they have already pre-sold ads at that rate. So, Disney is not going to put in a different show. It's going to be the Jimmy Kimmel show. It's going to be coming in at obviously a lower ratings, and they're going to have to do what is called a make good.
Yeah.
So, what a make good is that they're going to have to give money back because there is a tacit promise of being able to deliver over time. It's not any one particular show. It's the average over a year or during a rating period, because that's what they've sold them. And if any show does not meet that rating benchmark, then the network has to give them money back.
Who pays the make good, Paul? Is it Disney or is it the affiliates or is it some combination? Do you know? This is so unprecedented.
This is a national ad. It's going to be Disney coughing this money.
It depends on who owns the show.
Well,
And also a show can have several slots that are owned by the network and several slots that are owned by local affiliates.
Yeah. But any of these national spots, Paul, I think you'd agree.
Oh,
that's Disney.
Here's the other complicated thing, Culture. So I had predicted last night that when Kimmel comes back on, that he would have ratings through the roof.
Yeah,
and the reason for that is not because he's a good guy, not because people care to support him, but everybody across every political spectrum would tune in for one night to find out, does he apologize or does he spew more poison? Sure. And so for maybe 3 nights, you'd get some kind of lift in the ratings, and I thought he'll fall off tremendously. I now have to reconfigure my analysis because he's only going to be on for half the population. So it's almost impossible to overcome that. So I don't know that he can overcome it in the ratings on his return. And I also don't know how, Culture, and maybe you can explain this, maybe you have some insight here. I don't know how Nielsen will track this guy anymore, because the way Nielsen works, it's very difficult to get ratings for a show that is refused in half of the country.
I think he still is going to have the same qualifying numbers on whatever stations he ends up on. So I think they're still going to have ratings, the ability to put ratings on them. I mean, you have to remember, even in today's day and age, you do not have an affiliate represented in each of the markets. Some people don't have Fox, a local Fox affiliate.
Okay, but then where those Nielsen families are located matters in a way that we've never had it matter before.
Never imagined before, yeah, especially for a national program like this.
But the thing I don't understand is that again, they are hitching their wagon to the wrong horse.
Oh goodness!
Jimmy Kimmel is never going to have a legacy after he's gone. He's not Letterman. People have this memory, this idea of what Letterman brought to the talk show business, right? All his, guys in Velcro suits and just the endless funny stunts that he did. all we're going to remember Kimmel for are the nasty little presents he put in on Christmas and had kids unhappy, or the terrible Halloween treats. He's not a very nice comedian. No one's going to remember him. He has no legacy. So to me, as a comedian, this is the irony of it all, that he is the weirdest person to
and who will he have,
venerate.
Paul? Who will he bring on for the return after a few days pause that will slow down the controversies?
Jimmy Fallon.
No, worse.
Gavin Newsom, governor of California.
Is he really?
Trump-hating Gavin Newsom is who Jimmy Kimmel's going to go to help simmer down. Simmer down.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if that was confirmed or not.
It is confirmed.
Okay.
Of all the talk show hosts we have, he's literally the Joey Bishop of talk show hosts of the era. When
Man, I
Joey
don't think he's
Bishop
even
went up
that
against Johnny Carson and he was gone in 2 years.
Paul. He's the Paula Zahn of comedy.
Okay, I'll take that.
I have heard from someone who has done the talk show circuit that Conan is the nicest man imaginable, and Jimmy Kimmel is the polar opposite. Like, everyone but Conan was a jerk, but Kimmel was the biggest jerk.
Well, and I'll say this too: how many celebrities have hitched themselves to the Jimmy Kimmel wagon and done great disservice to their careers and their reputations? And Conan's one of them. He came out not having said a thing about the Charlie Kirk assassination, but then he defended to the end that Jimmy Kimmel, a low-rated, not so funny comedy show, taken off the air would be an infringement of the First Amendment. What does that do for Conan? It makes half the country that loved him say, "Screw this," because it's so obviously untrue. Marvin, your thoughts?
I was very disappointed. I've been a big Conan fan for years and years and years. I thought he was the funniest guy on late night for a long time. I like that he never gets involved in politics, but when he made that comment, I was just like, oh, come on, man. Who's making you say this?
You don't think that he's just supporting the brotherhood of talk show hosts?
I think so. I think it's an expectation of him. I think it was his people being like, you have to say something. You can't be the only one who doesn't say something.
But the way to do that, the way to do that is to say, I have been very upset over the past 2 weeks at the political violence and the lack of human decency. My prayers are with the Kirk family. I also want to see free speech continue, and I hope that Jimmy Kimmel will be back on Disney real soon. Something along those lines. But when you ignore something that is so tragically greater in magnitude, and then you weigh in and you throw everything you got in, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. And so somebody did not do Conan, I think, a very good service. As we get ready to wrap this one, though, folks, I want to say this. Who is it that's going to be back for Jimmy Kimmel? Who's coming for the return? Gavin Newsom and Ben Stiller. That's who's coming for Jimmy Kimmel for the return to form.
Oh, Ben Stiller, the guy who shot off his mouth on X about this as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Roseanne Barr made an ill-timed, poorly conceived, offensive joke that landed in a racial way. She apologized profusely. I thought she should have apologized profusely. I didn't like what she said. I thought it was untoward. But guess what, folks? Comedians can make bad jokes and offensive jokes. Go ask Paul. Roseanne Barr, the result to her was she's never worked in Hollywood again. She was totally wiped off the face of the entertainment earth.
Because she supported Trump.
Gina Carano came out and said, hey, and folks, you can have all kinds of opinions about Gina. That's fine. We'll set them to the side for just a minute, because what we're doing here is I want to make a comparison. However you took what she said, the motivation appears to have been to say, let's not go back down the bad paths of history. And the result of that was you're going to bunker in your basement in your home because we're going to disparage you, we're going to blacklist you, we're going to take you out of Hollywood. For Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy came out before Charlie Kirk could be laid to rest and said, essentially, this was one of your supporters, a lie. Therefore, it's your fault, big guy. And Jimmy Kimmel got a 2-day pause. Folks, if you don't understand the cause of Disney yet, I don't know when you're going to get it. And folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, It would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah.
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.